Oh, the camera. There we go. Hello, everyone. Tom here. Hope you have a great start to 2025. Happy New Year and all that. Just wanted to start off this year at the late Carpoon Devstream. Mic's working. To go over this start lever, which I had a suggestion for to drag across instead of the start button to start matches. And it's kind of promising so far. I did the art. Just going to program it in and then do a few polished things because it's going to be my last full indie for a while on Tuesday. So I kind of don't want to be doing last minute changes for it. So we'll see how it goes here. This is a placeholder that's not actually pieced together. But I can show you quick for context. This was the start button before, and here's kind of an idea of what the lever is going to work like. I tried it out super quick because it's too many times. I created art beforehand, and I figure, nope, it's still running even. Wow. I figure it's good to test, with super rough art than spending many hours on art and put in the game, and also to see the scale of things. Like you can see there, I kind of changed the angle already. It was more flat before, and then I kind of looked compared to trucks, and it's like, oh, this could be a bit better. But anyway, I guess I should have been done Carpoon about now for initial version, but I did spend I guess 2 weeks over the holidays, one a lot with my brother and parents, and another with a friend. So I guess that stuff's important in life, so I did that, although I do care about finishing my game very much. I kind of spent some time for that. So start button, this is what we had before, as you press it down, it starts a match. I guess we can just do that. Press 1 for a quick restart. And the lever, I just made it so it's basically the equivalent of this towable car, which now sparks as you bump into it. But it goes across the screen. It slowly goes back. I kind of thinking it should gain momentum as it goes back. Or it could stay in place and you drag it across, start a match. So the start button taught hold controls, the idea between the lever is it teaches holding and dragging objects. That might be a bit loud still. I think there's one of those that has a lowercase t that I saw during testing. I did play Carpoon quite a few times. I have a lot of feedback now that I've been trying to work through compared to normal. So without further ado, let's put this in. And what I want to do is maybe even on Wednesday or Thursday, I want to recreate my WarioWare DIY game in Godot and maybe do that for a stream. I could maybe put a shorter video together of it later. And I still have it's a pretty busy month, but I guess it's busy for everyone always. Still have stuff like my thumbnail video that I want to do. This harpoon is a little large. I checked it. I think it has to be about half the size to fit. And this start, what I want to do is have it light up as it goes along. I could show that. And if we go to the timeline window, have to open one that's 750 pixels wide. This one's only 630. It's a bit small. Where is it? Here we go. Oh no. Where? Okay, it's in the base with. This is where it gets hard to keep track of files. It's in this one only for the bottom. So I kind of work in reverse here. And since it's white, I can change it to any color in GameMaker. So these tracks, I probably could build them right into the base. I'm gonna open that up again, and yeah, I'll just save this. I think I have that frame already. No, maybe not. So I'll just save this for web. Where? There we go. Silver base with tracks. I think this will show up correctly. Probably if I get a car driving over this, I'll probably just put the images into it. That way I don't have to worry. I can move around anywhere and in a straw event, and then I don't have to worry about multiple layers stacking and what their depth is for the trucks appearing in between stuff. Okay, so add this in. Hi, Jensen. Oh, doing okay to start the year here. Just want to do one more Carpoon stream before maybe focusing on some other things like more game streams, or I want to create a one of my goals for a while is to create a WarioWare like game or recreate one I did in another Godot game programming language. So I'm trying to do one today before indie event showing for this tomorrow. But yeah, doing well. How are you doing over there? I guess Happy New Year, and thanks for dropping by. Have you beat anything else like Castlevania recently? Have you beat any more like tough classics? No, but I hope you had a great holiday. I I beat Mooncat in UFO 50 over the holidays, but I found out there's two other ways to beat it, and I kind of got partially through one of them. It's a little tricky, but definitely a really different experience being only 2 buttons and not like Jungle Beats bongos with 2 buttons. I'll say right now I'm kind of I'm playing more UFO 50, but I do want to focus in on one other game soon, but leaning towards I have so many to choose from. Leaning towards Demon's Souls this month. We'll see. before we start getting into all the new game releases of 2025. You did not beat Dracula. Your son got the flu, and you're in hospital all night along with him. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your son's doing fine now. I was very grateful that, like, my brother was kind of sick when he visited, when he came over, but he was like a very weak cold, and he was able to see us. I was glad I didn't get sick. Like, I had a neat hockey holiday party last weekend. Um, so yeah, I'm grateful like my parents weren't sick and stuff. So, but it happens. There's a lot of flu and stuff going around this time of year. But no, Dracula. I think if you got to Dracula, that's pretty darn good. That's further than I ever got in Castlevania. I tried it on NES Classic because I brought the NES Classic over to play Mario 3 with my brother, and I was doing better at Castlevania than Mario 3. I got to the third level on the first time, so I was actually surprised at that. Okay, yeah, your Castlevania playthrough's on hiatus at the moment. That's fair enough. Like, you've pretty much seen everything if you got to Dracula. No, I'm still thinking, like, can I beat the first Turtles on NES? Or one of my friends was talking about Sunsoft Batman on NES the other day and how that's like his favorite NES game. It's like, oh, I only played that a little bit. So, nope, family first. So I got a lot of family time over the holidays. Oh yeah, one day we I did play a whole bunch of Soul Calibur 2 with my friends, and that game still holds up. It took about 5 matches to come back to me. Let's see. Okay, so what I want to do here though is start putting putting in art. I have to get the ball rolling a bit. Oh, so you're back in NES Classic Games, and you hooked up your original NES to a CRT in your bedroom, and wow, it's mind blowing how great NES looks on a CRT. Yeah, I think we forget um, what it, because we see it on HD TV and it looks terrible, so we forget what it actually looks like on a CRT. So definitely, like, I have a CRT again. I definitely recommend it for any classic games. What I do need though is an adapter again to hook up old games to computer for streaming. I lent that out, um, but it's either way. Just playing on a CRT, the response time, the whole experience is way better. I don't mind the NES Classic though because the controllers are the exact same. I find some of the controllers with the analog stick kind of analog stick or some of the buttons just not quite right. So I Funny enough, I admit that, like, I think my original NES, I'd have to really take it apart and clean it. I don't think it actually works too well anymore. I've been using like a Famulator I got, which is just actual Famicom like hardware, but the third party. I've been trying that. Like old Famicom cartridges that I bought, they work great. You're playing PlayStation 5 in 4K and you went back to playing NES games on a CRT and it looked just as crisp. That is pretty amusing. Maybe Nintendo was on to something when they're not focusing on graphics. Oh, my camera's going crazy. It's my too many USB devices. Or a loose cable. It's still here on the mic at least. Maybe too tight of a cable. We'll see. I did get to play Astrobot over the holidays. I got up to the point with the level where you shrink down, and yeah, the amount of polish in Astrobot, I was super impressed. So, is it 8-bit graphics stood the test of time or something? I think it's because we have to fill in the blanks. We have to fill in the blanks with 8-bit graphics to kind of make up the missing parts. That's why something like UFO, kind of also stands up in 2024 when it came out. Like even Super Nintendo sprites, they look really good, but so much more work is needed for them. Happy New Year, Oscar. Let's see. So it's a fan of Power Rangers. We're in the year 2025, the year that took place Power Rangers SPD. I don't know that Power Rangers. I guess because it's 2005, but I did play a bit of Power Rangers Rita Rewind over the holidays. It's pretty impressed by the graphical style. One of the bosses was a little odd, where they changed perspective, but it had a really good game juice to it, and how it felt, and how the screen shook and stuff. So I was actually, and I guess we shouldn't be surprised. I think that's Digital Eclipse, and they do all those documentary games too. So they put a lot of love and care to the games. Oh, well, Oscar, I hope you have a great 2025. Yeah, and as for Astrobot, it's good to see why, for myself, why everyone is so big on it. Like, it does make it very tempting to get a PS5 this year. Oh yeah, Oscar, I know you're talking about the TV shows. Yeah, I was just saying, I was reminded about Power Rangers recently because of the video game. I admittedly watched the very first Power Rangers, so it was a show that my dad, he would normally sometimes watch shows we watch, but he would see Power Rangers. It's like, no, I can't do this one. It's just too cheesy for him. But I enjoyed it. Okay. Rita's Rewind is good, but you would have preferred it to have a leveling system like Shredder's Revenge. I forgot Shredder's Revenge had a leveling system. Which is funny, because I know it's super good. Clearly I have to play it more. Okay, so you always remember watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with your cousin and playing the original Power Rangers game for the SNES. Good time, still a great game. I didn't know about that game. Okay. Well, I guess I didn't have Super Nintendo at the time, so I kind of missed out on it. And Oscar, he says, you got 2 new games, Just Dance 2025. That'd be good for some exercise. My Sims Cozy Bundle, Lego Horizons Adventures. That's a lot of games. Bayonetta Origins and Lost Demon. The Lost Demon. Okay, yeah, the Bayonetta Origins is the same. And Harry Potter. And Okami. I was tempted to buy Okami for $6, but I still own the original, so I'll just play the original again. Okay. Highly recommend it. Well, keep an eye out for it on Super Nintendo. I wonder if that one came out in Japan too. It's sometimes easier to get the Japanese cartridges. They're a little bit cheaper. I guess there's another way to play it too, which I try to avoid, but okay. But Oscar, which one of those games do you think you're going to beat first? 'Cause that's a lot. Oh, you already beat Bayonetta Origins. Nice. And Jansen, you say because of you. Okay, so Andre recommended Dardox. I always go to it anyway for music. But yeah, Super Mario 64. I just heard about a Super Mario 64 mod. You probably need a computer for it though. So I can kind of believe Super Mario 64 will be 30. Like, didn't we have 25 years of Ocarina of Time recently? So, but this is the Mario mod I just heard about. So, I was thinking to almost like to do a stream to say thank you for 100 subscribers. So, thank you to YouTube, for instance, to stream either Mario 3 or Super Mario 64. Like, I'm probably better at Super Mario 64 still than I am at Mario 3. But it could just be I was dying a lot in World 3 of Mario 3. Yeah. It's that darn big fish. Can't escape can't escape him. No, but the Switch 2 this year, it'll be fun just to see what Nintendo has up their sleeves for games. What, like, totally, if there's some totally new brand new IP. Yeah, I'll say playing modded games isn't something I do too often, but there's a lot of new ones. Like, there was a Mario 64 Maker game last year, and like, it's just amazing what people do. Okay. Hello, HPR Shredder. Hi, Aiden. How you doing? Did you have a great sort of Christmas and New Year's? Great holiday season. It was a nightmare when it's over. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I guess National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation tells me about what the holidays can be like. Jansen says, the same thing happened to me a few nights ago. I got to World 3, and Big Bertha ate me many times before I said it's time for bed. Yeah, that's from sometimes playing games at the end of the day. It's just like I don't have the mental fortitude to go through this. Oh no, Hayden, sorry to hear that, but hope things are going for you well now, and chipping away on your projects over there. See ya, Jansen. Yeah, keep an eye on what you're playing. It's a pleasure talking to you too. Anyway, Hayden, not quite where I'm at in Carpoon where I'd like to be, but there's the local indie meetup tomorrow. It'll be the last one I get to do probably for quite some time. So I thought instead of like trying to add in features tomorrow, my normal stream day, I'll try now. And that way I can be more testing, more relaxed tomorrow. Especially because the venue is different as well. I probably have to walk like 1.5 miles. Or, you know, take a bus. But no, so just trying out the start lever. Put a bunch of polish and did a bunch of playtesting and feedback over the holidays. But not quite where I want to be yet. But I'm thinking this week I will try Godot either later this week. That's what I want to aim for, but I'm debating to go into Godot cold turkey or to try learning it a little bit first before going on stream. But yeah, I want to recreate an old WarioWare sort of DIY game I had in Godot. I thought that'd be a fun thing to do, especially because that's what I tell people to do a lot. Oscar, if you're there, is there any game that you're most excited for this year? I know you just got a whole bunch, but I'm sure you're looking forward to a few. Oh, yeah, 40th anniversary of Super Mario Brothers, which we'll see if Nintendo does something for it or acknowledges it. And 10th anniversary of Mario. That's crazy. 10th anniversary of Mario Maker. Xenoblade Chronicles X is 10, and even Splatoon 1. And also Iwata, yes. Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles X could be interesting. Because I missed out on the first one, and it's really expensive. So, for once, a remaster helps me out. You wonder if the Switch 2 will suck. It's been a pitiful year for Switch. Well, maybe I could talk to you about that some other time, but I'm guessing it's all going to be based off the games. So, yeah, and so like those two messages are kind of related because wondering about the future of Switch 2 and Satoru Iwata will have no impact on Switch 2. Like he had a little bit on Switch from some ideas he had, but it'll be without him on Switch 2. So we'll see what the new generation of Nintendo can do. Even though Miyamoto's still there, still has tons of ideas, but there'll be a lot of new people involved. So sometimes it's just like it's a product. Like if it's like a Switch Steam Deck that can play Nintendo games in 4K. It's all going to be about what big guns Nintendo is bringing to the party. Like I don't see too much of a gimmick with it. So in that case, it comes out to like price and games pretty much, and if you can get one, if the Joy-Cons don't die. Oscar, you sold your Wii U and 30 games. I hope you got a good amount for your Wii U. I think they're not the cheapest. No, but I guess that's smart at times to sell your old consoles. I'm probably dumb and holding on to them too long, just because I know not all of them are backwards compatible. Yeah. GX News update. You've ordered an NES Advantage. I saw one of those the other day. That's the arcade stick for NES, right? Let me see. I was considering buying it, But I'll show you. I'll show you my news update. What I bought. My advanced pizza technology in 2025. Here, just wait a second. I know they were so cool looking back in the day. Even the power pad was cool looking. I don't think they're here, but I have NES Max controllers. I got them on sale on Boxing Day, which is Canadian Black Friday at one point. Uh, this is what I got. I finally got one of these to play with. We were going into a retro store. I'm like, well, if I see a Game Boy camera, I'll consider it. And it was, I think, a decent price at $50 when you can get them online for about 40. So that was my Christmas present to myself. Yeah, finally got one. Yeah, so I figure like later if I get the fabled analog pocket or something like that, I can use it as a webcam for my computer or something too. So I never got to play with one back in the day, and I didn't know it was made by Game Freak and stuff. So finally got Game Boy camera to try it out. Although admittedly, it's upside down in the SP, so I have to dig out my Game Boy Color and try it on that. But yeah, it's pretty neat, and it's something that's like, I missed out on that. I want to see it. It can't. I was joking with my friends, like they're saying, what if it has photos on it? And I was like, oh no, what if it's some sort of murder mystery? And it did have all the photos on it. Fortunately, not a murder mystery or anything like that. Nothing creepy. Like the person took a lot of photos of their grandparents and stuff. Because immediately it gets to a point where you kind of need to list all your games. I saw one of my friends do this, like write down all the games he has, and and that way when you go to the store, it's like it's not that question like, do I already have this game or not, or like what system I have it on. So yeah, that was my fun purchase for myself. Let's see. Yeah, the camera just turns all the way around, so let's see. That's kind of neat. I didn't know it did that, which makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Like, but it's kind of hard to get off a Game Boy, the photo. Like, there might be a way to do it, but I don't know. It's not like, I think 3DS, you could take it on the SD card. But this one, I'd kind of need other hardware to do that. The guy at the shop was saying some places they let you. One guy sells a modded one that can store 2,000 photos too. Like this one only stores about 20 photos. But yeah, that'd be a pretty hilarious profile photo. Oh, okay, Oscar. So yeah, that makes sense to be excited for Donkey Kong Returns HD and those games. And I guess probably the biggest for you would be the reveal of Switch 2. I think it's tough to say. It's like exciting, but also potential dread. Like it can go either way very quickly. I think I'm leaning more to excited though. Although it's very hard to follow up on a system that's sort of a sequel. Yeah, those are your resolutions, getting new games, and going to the new building of your day program. So I think your second one is probably more important there. But definitely I hope you enjoy the games. Okay, HPR Shredder. The Switch is easy to follow up from a strictly hardware perspective. Yes, from hardware it is. We're just wondering I was talking to Don the other day. It's like the incentive to buy it. You have to think about that. Like some people probably bought OLED. Like if I bought OLED and there weren't games for it right away, or if the games are cross-gen, I'd almost not want to buy it. But if you have 4K TV and you've had Switch for 8 years, definitely tempted. So it will depend too on a bit of cross-gen. But yeah, if you just go like, here's a Switch but more powerful, and maybe a mouse pointer in it, yeah, it's easy to follow up, because it's also not as cutting edge as something like PS5 was when it came out. It's older hardware. I was hoping for just wirelessly beam switch to the TV like Chromecast, but that doesn't seem to be happening. Okay, I am going to try to import the start animation I had, but backwards. Well, I'll need two of them. I'll need one just for the base one. And then I'll need, I don't know, I could do a second one, or I could just duplicate it. It's gonna be confusing. It's probably much easier to code backwards, so I'll do that. The frame rate would be 0 on the end, but let's just... Oh, can I loop that backwards? Doesn't look like it. Well, I can go forward and back just to see. Well, hey, and how's your Doki Doki Panic video coming along? I know there's no rush in them. Did you see Derek, you watched your latest video? I was actually playtesting another developer's Madhouse during the holidays, and then Eric came in to watch, but he wasn't in chat. Yeah, been on pause since Christmas, and you did. Okay, well that's nice. Yeah. So I'm assuming he's a very busy person and a dad, so probably doesn't have that much time to watch videos immediately. But yeah, it's nice to see you watched another one. I'm still down to play Dark Souls 2 at some point. It might be a busy month for me. We'll see. Also, Xbox One doesn't appear to be that much, compared to a Steam Deck. Okay, these arrows here are just to drive the point home about I want these to maybe like turn green as you go across. Just in case the other animation is missed under the lever. So it's going to be tough to say the exact placement for them, these two animations, but I'll probably just put it in the draw event and have GameMaker Live on. I can see where to go from there. This is it's an easy way to just draw the sprite that comes with it. I'll put these under it. This will be way too fast, but I just want to see it working. Its Y value, I think, goes up as you go down, and this starts at the bottom. I'm going to guess subtracting. Whatever scale it is. So see how it looks lime green, because actual green is a bit dark. And this I already had set to change when you dragged it across 500 pixels, but that's a bit far, so I'm gonna update that. Maybe it's a little, oh, I can't change, well, no, you can change the physics weight here. Try density of 5. I think that was a bit heavy. Okay. Try 400. So I was going to go back very slowly, but it should have some acceleration. So I'll say if you grapple it, the acceleration stops. But otherwise, or the speed, otherwise it starts speeding up again. Equals 0. Probably there should be some should slow down again some momentum, but that starts getting tricky. I just want to make sure it works. This is where I now think like, oh, it could bounce when it comes back, but I'll just have it lock in place. Yeah, we'll see if hopefully it doesn't lock it in place permanently and only for going left. And after this, we'll kind of see what percent it's going across and have the start animation light up. I feel like compiling is taking longer at times, but in this case, it's because I just added new images in, so it recreates textures. So I'll have to move it up a little bit, and also the depth, despite being what should be the ground, isn't quite right here. No, wait, is that the old one? Yeah, I'll have to change the depth on that one. So you can kind of see, I can test the lever a bit. Yeah, that'd be way better if I bounced back. I'm hoping people won't get confused and think they can drive into this and push it along. Like, sometimes in the game it's better for nothing to happen. It's like thinking in original Metroid you can bomb jump your way up a huge a huge vertical shaft, which I probably sadly did as a kid. Oh yeah, this guy, oh, that works now. That's great. He just needs a bigger range. Okay, so yeah, probably just moving these up another 20 pixels or so and changing depths. And this harpoon I'll add in after. I have the separate sprite. I could maybe do the physics rope for that. It's not necessary. It might be too much polish, but considering it. Oh, it bounces a tiny bit from being kicked back. That might be enough. So this example one, okay, was the proper depth. I'll probably just move this aside for now. Oh yeah, it had no parent object for depth. The only reason I do this is so if I change it, I don't have to change it in a ton of different objects. I only have to change it in that parent object. So I'll make sure event inherited is what you have to do with parent object here, otherwise it just ignores it. And we'll try to get the percent that this new start lever is going across and get it to light up. I think white isn't the most interesting color. Like I'll probably have it pulse blue like the old start button did. Oh no, where am I? And I think by pulsing blue, it kind of shows it's something you can interact with. Along with the stuck harpooner. Let's add that stuck harpoon right now. Okay, where? So yeah, I just created a small one. That's like the size I thought it was, and this is the actual size. I'll put it in. Kind of have to guess where it goes now. Oh man, these two things are named too similarly. That's okay. I was thinking of having this rotate as you pull it or not, which would be pretty easy because you just see whatever's grappling it and if it's on what side it's on. But I think it's not really needed for actually seeing how it works. That's like extra polish that I could be doing on other things to finish up. Probably will add more sparks in after this. I think sparks, people have wanted them for about 6 months, so now they're in. I just have to put them in a couple more places. I find it hard to keep up with feedback at times. But like cars now have ground effects, lighting, or overglow finally, so stuff like that's nice. I think I was listening to something where the difference between AAA and indie sometimes is that AAA doesn't have forever to think on things and iterate, being creative. Like they have more money in theory, but an indie developer can just sort of spend forever on a problem, figure out a creative solution. I do not want to spend forever on this. I want to move on. That's why I'm finishing up. I've already spent forever on it. Okay, let's draw that harpoon and hopefully get it in the correct spot. Yeah, I imagine spending forever is tempting. It is, but at some point, it's kind of like, well, I'd like to be done. So for me, like getting done is a challenge. Like I can get to 1.0. That's the way I think of it. I can get to 1.0 and then I can update it with a game like Carpoon. Like a game like Zelda, you need like a certain amount of dungeons. You need to have a beginning and end, like an RPG. That has to all be there. Like you can kind of do balancing after if you really have to. But with Carpoon, it's closer to a live service game or that sort of game where you can just, it's much easier to add an update. Like I thought of a simple idea the other day, just to have the junkyard as a one screen level and have different elements pop in different waves. And it's like, well, I wrote it down. I'm saving it. I've seen many developers, like it used to be some of them you hear they're working on it for 6 years, and now you hear about some people working on it for 10 years in their project. Like there was a Knuckles sandwich documentary the other day for part of it, where the developer's looking back on what he was doing. He basically worked on the game Andrew Rofi worked on it throughout his entire 20s. So that's a long time. Oh, loose cable again. That's good. I'd say as long as you're playtesting it, seems a good way to do it. He actually showed at different events and had press play it along the way, so that helped a lot. Yeah, 10 years seems too long, but if you're not careful, it can easily become 10 years, I think, on like a sizable single-player game. So I'm kind of thinking now it's better to do that small game and learn some things and get faster and make bigger games after that. Or meet people along the way to work on a game with. Okay. We want to go at the bottom center. We want to go up about 54. And let's see, maybe here, depending on where I put it, 33. Let's see. Yeah, 30. Hi, Yerk. Well, I hope you had a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, but I'm sorry to hear about your animation. I think I've had that sort of thing happen where it crashes immediately. Like 17 frames. It's not like you need Chrome Remote Desktop, so then you can check it and along the walk and just press like boop to get it going again. But then also Chrome Remote Desktop's very hard when you have multiple monitors set up. If you have one monitor, it's okay. But at least that way you know you can like walk back and go again, if you're worried about that sort of thing. I think depending on the length of the walk, I'd probably just be fine starting again. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Thank you. The year of getting goals done. No, I had a great time with family and friends over the holidays. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, it's definitely this year. I don't see myself not finishing it this year. I can visualize too much of it at this point. Like how you said years ago, it's like we already were playing a finished version of it. I am considering stepping up more playtests. I'll see how that goes. I'll think about that more after playtesting it tomorrow. Okay, let's go to this and we'll move. Oh, sorry for the fire trucks out there. Yeah, it's funny, like working on Carpoon at times, it's like this circle that goes around. I guess it's like the snake eating itself of like feedback and going around and feedback, going around. Maybe all games are like that. But then, like I feel like that circle is kind of tightening. So there's less and less left to do. Although I was thinking of adding clapping in the scoring summary. like just having the trucks clap, but that's actually harder to draw two tires going together like this than you would think. So I'm gonna have to look at some characters in Smash and see what they're doing. See what Kirby does. Yeah, you just gotta go off gut instinct and accept no feedback. Well, some of the feedback I just have to accept can't be done. That's what I do. So it's like some things that are just only a few people notice. I write it down. Maybe if I think an easy way I'll do it, but like I can't do all of it. So some of it's good feedback. Some of it's, and also there's that feedback where it's like not good for the overall game vision. Sometimes it's different than your game vision. Like it'd be like add a gun, or my nephew's saying add enemies that like hurt you, or that cause damage. Like he's asking for more challenge. So there are other ways around that, like improving the time limits. It's like different to see the problem than the solution, but then other times too, you just have to accept what I feel is like you just have to accept this is what it is and be happy with it, or just know like some games aren't for everybody. That too. Okay, I think this will be pretty close, except I didn't add in the percentage to light up the text, but we'll see how the placement is. I'll say one advantage for a game is that at least you can get feedback on a video or something. It's just like, well, here it is. And if there's feedback later, it's like, well, I can only really apply that to a future video. Which isn't fully true, but mostly true. Okay, that arrow is a little small. I might have to use a bigger one and scale it down. Oh, I want to have to increase the width. And move that up 5 pixels. Move this one up a little bit too, but pretty close. Yeah, it would be nice if it balanced at the end. I can see a little bit of transparency issues around that, but I don't think it matters too much. Well, it kind of does because everyone will see that one, but well, I'll fix it after the stream if I can. Yeah, this one is almost double the size. Very tempting to use variable 64 there. This is probably actually the same amount. It's the same size. Okay, and the lever just has to go a bit further. And I'll grab the little variable to be able to change it on the fly without recompiling. Oh yeah, York, I finally got to play Astrobot. I played up until the shrinking level. Highly impressed with the amount of polish in that game. A ridiculous amount of polish. Well, that's a long camera flash, but it's good again. I think. The camera's good for me. Oh well. I'll fix this. Never fiddle around with the camera port while it's on like a little stand. I think I ruined the HDMI mini HDMI output on it slightly. Like that'd be sad if I have to replace the camera just because of HDMI output. Yeah. Oh, and I did reach 100 subscribers last weekend, so I am thinking between Mario 3 and Mario 64 for like a thank you stream. Okay. It's mostly now we just want the balance and want the text to light up. Text lighting up, it's probably pretty easy. I'll just be grabbing this and seeing the percent done. I'll figure it out here, and then I can just grab it from the other thing, the other object. I'll give it a different name in this other object, or I'll end up getting the two confused. Okay. So that percent, I have to translate that over to frames of animation. And each of them has a different amount of frames. So I'll probably just write that down instead of, I think you can figure it out. You can just check a sprite's number of frames, but it's also just as quick to write down how many frames they have. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, this one, 12 frames, all right. And the other one is like, let's just read it. 17. So we'll keep a base color, and then we'll just draw over it with that percentage. So the image index here. So we'll keep this as 0. I'll probably try black as a color, even though it won't be as obvious. And I'll remember to make it blue later. Just times the percent done by this. And then maybe round it. Might not have to do that. Oh yeah, it's backwards though, so it might be going backwards. Or I'll subtract it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be off by 1 at some point. We'll see. No one's here. Safest time to open a can of bubbly. Oh, it crashed. I forgot to add in. No, it does exist. Percent. Who knew writing a variable perfect done would cause it to crash? Let's see if it lights up a bit now. See, with Carpoon, it's probably the most fun on versus mode when it's just against other players. So that's where it would have been beneficial to create a CPU. Well, that kind of works. That's pretty good for the first time around. That arrow is still a little low. I think scaling is affecting it. Although, yeah, I kind of just want it on the top. Is it the same size? It's pretty close. I'll tweak it right now. So this is the sort of thing where I've had to do this with alarms a lot, where you have to make sure in the edge case it doesn't actually it kind of shows up when it shouldn't. I almost, yeah, maybe it was better heavier. That's a bit quick. Like it feels too light right now. And this is gonna bug me too when you hit it and it scales, the back moves up. So I could get around that by cutting out that piece and just drawing it behind it and not scaling it. I might worry about that later, because most people won't notice on a laptop screen. Okay, and I didn't get the arrows right for the bottom part. And probably looking at this now, the gray could add a bit more texture. Okay, and so also I'll have to add a little bit extra for the end there. Because it went back to being empty. So 2 easy edge cases, which are probably caused by rounding. Bring this back in for reference and see how much more I can get this to fix. So I'm glad it worked. I was kind of worried. Oh, I should. No, wait, I made it so you can't go too far left. I was thinking, like, I haven't been trying to drag it the other way. Probably also just round it, but I'll do this and keep it simple, keep it readable. Trimming that too. Don't need that anymore. This is why this wasn't working. Let's take a look. Okay, let's see if they're, well, it shows up now. That's good. It's just that first frame. Shouldn't be. I'll check and make sure I have the image set up right. Because obviously the bottom was okay. And that blue effect's what we want to add to that text after. You almost want it has to be at least one when it's grappling. Like it is on the bottom because it has way more images. Because the percent works because I cut it all up into little ones, but yeah, still a bit too smooth too. Okay, let's see if we can fix it. Also, that music is probably too loud. Okay. Yeah, it's just weird. Let's see this animation. Okay, so it's does it only have 11 frames? I bet that's it. I put 12 in. This is where it would have been better if I just counted them. There. Hopefully problem solved. Okay, now if it's grappling, I want the start index to be if it's 0 or if it's the very end where nothing shows, then I want to make it, and it's grappling, I want to make sure it's at least 1. So just grab the grappling code here. I'll have to grab another thing too. This is made too many nested if statements, but it should get the job done. I'll say it's going to be this -1. So that way, harpoon it, immediately turns green. Okay, so other than that, it's the... Oh, did I... For the animation where it's blue, I might have done that through sprites. It might not be through code. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, well, that's not too bad. I just chose one at a time and then I duplicated it. Actually looks pretty neat by itself. Okay. So I have to go through the start animation, just do one at a time. That might be tricky because there's a different number of frames in each one, but I think considering this thing's scaled, it's okay. And then, yeah, I just looped through them, I believe, for how I draw them. And I changed the alpha. So I can just copy that for the animation. I have a choice here where I can either draw over it or I can make it stop. Oh yeah, the way I do it now, it's not percent. It's just counting through. I'll try it on one of them and I'll see how it looks. So okay, now I have to go in and I have to adjust this. So instead of probably this one, instead of being this animation where I show each letter at a time, I can only have one letter or one arrow or one letter at a time. I hope it's not going to be confusing me backwards again. There is probably a better way to do this, but this won't be too bad. Fortunately, they're all different layers already, so I could do that. Can I... Let's see. I think there's an option to reverse order. Yeah, here we go. This is going to be tedious. It's where I could just move one over a few times. I'll have to be careful not to delete the other one while I'm doing this. Can I do that? Nope. Wait. Not so bad with the selection box. Now, if I had like 1,000 of these to do, I'd have to think of a better way. Like how I export frames in this. But let's see. It could almost wait. Like you could almost wait in the middle for the start while the other one's going on. So I could stagger it. That might be the easiest. Keep them the same frame. Start only appears some of the time. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Oh no, how do I... Oh yeah, I use a layer mask. Seeing how I split the two. I'll have to undo that after. Let's export this. Yeah, so I'm just going to render at 1 frame a second. If you're smarter, you can probably do it at 0.1 and figure out the frame rate. This is just the easy way. Start text. I'll keep the lever in it. Okay, now we'll undo that frame order, and we'll do the bottom part. Okay, make sure it's not broken. Just inverse the layer mask. Arrow pieces animation. Okay, and now I'll bring those into GameMaker and see how they light up. No, I couldn't keep them on the same one because I'd have to redo all the layers, how they're set up, so we'll see how this animates. Where did I put it? Oh no. Yeah, okay, it's this one. See how it goes. Try to put it in the right place. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that'll be neat. I think. We'll see. Could be distracting. Okay, now I just have to put it in. So I replace this with this one. I want to do the start first. Okay. I could probably just copy this and do the other one too. So I'll see how that looks when it turns green over it. The green probably might have to be a gradient. It might be a bit harsh as a solid green, but it'll work. Or just, you know, transparent. So after this, all I want to do is make the lever bounce back when you kind of, oh. Ring frame. What? Where is that? Okay. What was that? Let me see where that was set. Okay. Oh, all right. There's a little more to it that I did before, but I'll put it in here. Still inner blue. Okay. Guessing there's a little more that I'm missing too. Yeah, I don't think it's crashing this time. That's good. Oh. I think the number of frames, I gotta adjust that. It's basing on what the start frames were. That's also probably, that's too fast, I think. Oh, so I could do it where it drags along, and if the previous one's faded out, I think that would look good. Just have the 100% opacity at the end, fade it out as it goes back without hitting the mic. So I gotta slow down the blue, see if I can stagger the green, and then see if I can have it almost like how the trucks land and there's a bit of a bounce, have a bit of a bounce back. Oh, wait, could I? Yeah, I could pull it. I'll have to cap that. I could have it so it does rotate. I could add in a frame of animation to be like, you acknowledge that you're pulling it, but not let that happen. And probably stop it at the end. Okay, that harpoon also has to move up a tiny bit. Oh, it doesn't scale bounce with the rest of it. Okay, that's that to the center point is kind of way down low. I might have to adjust that as well. Like when you harpoon it, ideally you would kind of latch on right in the middle. Like signs you can hit anywhere because they're big. This is more like a car where you hit it at a when you harpoon it, the harpoon latches onto the center. This should fix the frame animation. Now we do have to move them up. I'm going to just create a variable for this. So I want it to be smaller, but if I multiply it by this, it might also scale with the rest of it. For that harpoon that was on top. So with the green, we'll fix the start lever so you can't go further back. If graph lane is greater than 0. This will lock it in place. So this one we want the max distance. Or like a max X position. Hello, Antonio. How's it going? Hope you're having a good start to the new year. I thought I would stream today to kind of not make it any like hectic rush tomorrow before the full indie meetup to kind of show this lever. I can just leave last minute preparation to then for like cleaning controllers and stuff. I'll show you in just a second. I'm just trying to limit right now where, let's see. Yeah, where this lever is. Right now, this lever can go past it or before. So that's what I'm trying to do instead of the start button. But you'll see, I'll show you. Right now, I'll compile it. Oh, and here's my Christmas present to myself, which I can't see because my camera's off right now, or the preview's off. The Game Boy camera, I finally got one to try out. How's drawing been going? If you had time to draw over the holidays? I didn't really have time to draw, so, but I hope you did. Oh, the blue is, okay. I had a blue animation that's under that black right now. So that's good. I can't pull it past. I'm thinking of making it rotate when it does that. And doing this. That was a weird jump back. I'll have to check that. I probably set it back to 0. Oh, thank you, Antonio. Yeah, I just want it to bounce when it hits, like, if you let it go and goes back, I want it to bounce. And I'm thinking of, like, 2 different frames of animation, side to side, to kind of rotate. Like, if I'm pulling this way, it rotates a bit. If I go... Yeah, I know that bug I can fix. Maybe I need a delay when you hold it in place. But no, thank you. I drew it today. I had done a draft earlier, as you saw. I'm probably going to redo the claw, kind of similar, like a beefy claw, and add a little base underneath it to make it more obvious where to pick it up. And I'm also also thinking now of drawing the cars, like doing the Smash Brothers end of round clap for the scoring summary, but that's trickier than I think. I think I had a small draft of it. Let me see if I can bring it up. I think it's in this file. No, not previous 2A. Nope. But that's kind of what I'm working on now with the animation. I have to go back a little further. Yeah, this is... I was trying to see if the clap could go like this, but not quite. I'm going to just flick my camera on and off so I can see the preview where I am. So, like, it's easy for the car being in lava, but for the truck clapping, that's going to be more difficult. It's not really a mandatory thing. I just thought it'd be fun. Something to feel and remember, but I'll probably just do that, like, if I'm tired and want to draw something and not think too much. Okay, so if it's greater than max position here, yeah, it's a fun idea. Like, games should have some fun things to them. Like, I was watching the Knuckle Sandwich documentary yesterday, and he has so many little things he added into the game just for fun, like testing if players did things or not and acknowledging that. But, like, it doesn't add, like, it doesn't make the game necessarily better, but it's just, or like hugely better, but it makes it a little bit better and just adds some neat personality to it. Like, he had lore about soup cans throughout his game that I kind of noticed, but he actually did it on purpose. So what I was going to do is this base color here has to go above this animation, otherwise we won't see it. I'll just show you as it's in motion. And then after that, I want the green to fade out as it goes along. Which, come to think of it, I can use the blue frames I had because they're separate images. Yeah, so I have the pieces to do that now. So that's a little fast, and it's kind of skipping funny. But that's the general idea. I think there's something covering it still, too. That start button will be there in the final one. Yeah, so that's just copying the start effect. Reads well, that's great. I was wondering because, like, at first I had it as white text. You can't, if I turn myself off, you can see it. In the example in the bottom. Whoa, I can't see anything now. In the bottom right, you can see what I was thinking for a white colored start. But if it has a glow going over it, it's pretty obvious, I think. So yeah, then I just have to make it so the harpoon doesn't go to the base, like that. Oh, I could drive right through it. I think, yeah, I have to adjust the physics object. So my only hope is that people don't try to drive into it to push it. I can actually push it a lot there. Broken game, you know. So I'll have to see how that looks. Because because I'm kind of forcing it to go back all the way right now. I'll just maybe force it to go back slowly. Antonio, are you playing any games right now or catching up on, like, I forget if you finished, like, I don't think you finished Mario and Luigi, so did you keep playing that, after your current experience? I also hope you're drawing or doing something right now, but oh yeah, camera back on. Whoop. Oh, I moved the wrong thing back. I have to move these back too. Okay, you're playing Plucky Squire right now. That's great. Assume you're enjoying it after the update. I was admittedly eyeing Tunic during the Steam sale because it was half off. I ended up picking up 2 other indie games that I was interested in. So both Tunic and Plucky Squire will have to wait for me, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. The art alone is worth seeing for Plucky Squire. So, like, considering they got rid of the hand-holding part, I think it's a good choice. For some reason it's flickering as it's going around, but oh, maybe this thing here. I think that's doing it. No, wait, no, that's 10 pieces behind it. Yeah, definitely the 2D part is a highlight, but it's nicer as contrast to 3D parts. Yeah, that's the thing. The 3D is not quite the same pedigree as the 2D in that game. But that's where some of the gameplay innovation comes in. And it is neat seeing the 2D art, how it is placed on the 3D game. Okay, this is some magic trickery that oh, here. This number. That's what's making it wrong. It's kind of skipping over by 5, I believe, so that should make it look right. Now let's try to do a similar effect for the green lighting up. So how do I have to work backwards from where I am. And Tony, I'm thinking about later this week to try making my old WarioWare minigame in Godot. I guess I could always do it for next week's stream too, but I thought it might be neat to dive into right away for the beginning of the year. Okay, excellent. You've been able to keep up with doodling. That's better than nothing. So I had a lot of family gatherings too, and I didn't have much time for anything. So I think by keeping it up a bit, at least you keep that momentum going. So I'll keep up that base practice. Okay, I'll change this lighting into a loop. So the WarioWare game I have in mind is actually the one I created, WarioWare DIY. And I wanted to make this thumbnail right away. I think I had a video of it at one point, but I can't capture Wii footage right now. But it's a game where it's just two sides, so it's like Pong with holding a beer glass. And the goal is to do cheers, but the catch is you want to be lower than the CPU when you do cheers, so their beer tips into your beer, and you end up with more. Otherwise, if you're on top, you pour out some of your beer into your friend's mug. So that was a silly game I had. And as it gets faster, it gets trickier to reach that. I guess there could be a tie condition too. But that was the game I did in WarioWare DIY, like over the course of a year when I was at airports and stuff, that it helped me get back into making games. So I thought it'd be a neat nod to do that again. I can always think of a new one after, but I thought that's a simple one to start with. So yes, there's already things I'll have to add in, like the countdown. WarioWare does a countdown for you. I'll have to do that. And I'll have to make it so it speeds up each round of changes. So I think with all those elements, there'll be input, just a single button press to choose the point to do cheers. Like I could try fiddling with arrow keys, but that's not like a WarioWare game. So it should have all the elements I need to know to make a game in Godot. Or at least have a really good start. And that should help me with Global Game Jam later in the month if they use Godot. Although I'm guessing they might be using Unity. If I'm on a team with some people. It's tough to say. Some of the guys know Godot. But anyway, that'd be like one of my goals done, and I can make a small video about it after. But I thought it'd be fun to do streaming live. Oh, you have to do... Okay, so you would have the faces in there too. This is like mine is more zoomed out where you only see the hand and the mug. But I'll save that. I'll save that idea and try it. Because then you'd have two cases where you can't go. And you'd have to wait till like they're turning away and looking. So thank you. Having this leather done today is nice. I might show it to you where I'm doing this for a playtest tomorrow. In some playtests, you can have like an A/B test. So I can alternate between this and the start button. equals start index. Is greater than 0, I think. It's like, did you ever play, if you played Root Beer Tapper 2, that, you can almost build off a game where it could be like a mini game at the end of Root Beer Tapper, but or like the Root Bear game on Playdate where you're trying to pour a drink to the perfect amount. Like there's a bunch of different mini games that could be done there. It could be a whole series. So let's try this and see if it works. Oh wait, I have to change the index. No. No. Stop. I'm glad I found out about that stop button. I actually didn't know you could stop compiling something for a long time. Okay, so... And also that was wrong. Okay, try it again. Then I'll have a small 1 minute break as if it's working to leave it running. I was thinking what would be funny is if you only see the hand and the like after you defeat one person, the hand could kind of bob in the air and the background would scroll like you're walking onto another person. Oh, did Carpoon crash? I can't actually find it now. Oh yeah, it might crash. Well, I'll be back in a minute, and then I'll know the answer. back. Sorry, I didn't put on the BRBs. But I think the problem was I was going. Maybe I was. Oh, I was. Yeah, I was trying to increment it when I should be going backwards. Which I want to see is decrementing, but that could be wrong. So that's the power of getting up and walking around to figure out a solution. Apparently, at the end of the week, Mathew will be finished the new music for Volcarnage Island. That's when they're aiming for. I don't have any hard deadline for that, nor did I even ask for it. Mathew the composer wanted to update it. So that's something a couple people said they thought that music could be a little bit better, so that would be neat to put in the game. I do have to fix the double music bug still. So that seems a little fast, that blue animation. I'll try halving that speed. It might even update. There's like a little flicker at the end. Might be a rounding thing. It doesn't last as long. Oh, I think there's a frame where there's nothing. That's why. I'll have to check what's different between start and that. But let's see if the green works now. No. Oh, it's going the other way. Because the frames are reversed. Oh. No. You can kind of see what I was going for. But I drive over it. Let me if I reel it in, you can see. It also fades out really quick, so I knew having it in reverse order would be confusing at some point. So that's not what I wanted to draw to you. I wanted the pieces. Okay, oh, I'll have to duplicate this too because there's a bit of a gap in between them. But it is in the right order. So I'll find it and I'll just... This is getting... It's getting a little confusing. Okay. I might not need that first frame, we'll see. probably right. Oh man, this is. Oh, here's no. No, I think that should be okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'll probably have to turn off the blue lighting underneath. Once again, compiling with a new texture. I'll probably only go 25 more minutes today. I actually woke up pretty early today. So save some time for some regular housework and cleaning. Okay, that it shouldn't start in the end like that. Am I going in reverse? I have to reverse the image index because of how it works with the other stuff. Yeah, probably can keep it at 0.1 or minus 5% less on each one to make it light up the whole way. There should be a minimum amount. Yeah. If you're looking for a cartoon car clapping, it's proven to be a tricky thing to find. Yeah. You kind of have to think of it. Like, I thought Kirby from Smash might work, but probably the arms move so close together it's fine. Or, because Kirby has little stubby arms. Oh, yeah, that car. I don't know if it ever stood up, but that car had pretty flexible wheels. Okay, I'll take a. I'll see here. It'll come through soon. So I think here I have to just flip the start index. That might be the easy might be the easy way to do it. Also, I completely changed the wrong thing. That must be a big GIF. Yeah, not here yet. All in good time. Okay, that's still, it's not the best. I'll probably just figure out the percent again. That'll be the easy way to do it. And then I'll try making the A/B test. Prior to, I'll see what the percent done is. That should make it more straightforward. This is where it wasn't flipping anymore. That should help. Maybe that's it. I think I had gotten rid of setting where the actual start index was. Got lost in the shuffle. Now that was, it's okay at first, but it's still kind of counting the wrong way. So I think I have to de-flip one more thing. Oh, wait, no, I had this. I was doing it, but I had to redo it, so. Okay, before I think I was only multiplying by 1. And this time I should be multiplying by the whole thing, getting the correct percent. Confusing myself. I think I'll get rid of the animated blue below that. And then it should be easier to read. See if GameMaker lets me do that. Yeah, I put in the GameMaker Live stuff. Well, that kind of broke it entirely. Hello, Joe. How's it going? I'll show you what I'm working on here. Just instead of the start button, which I had before to start matches, I had a suggestion from a friend to start this. Hello, Fawn. What's from Andre? Did he nicely recommend my channel for you guys? But no, thank you for dropping by. I'm probably going to do this for about 20 more minutes, just because I'm going to have a bit earlier dinner today. But yeah, just having some progress on this, because there's going to be an indie meetup tomorrow where I'm going to show this. I'm doing okay. I had a very nice... winter holiday. Saw my brother and stuff. Hello, Stargamer. Was Andre streaming on YouTube and then recommended over to my channel? That's very nice of him. So you guys are playing Mario Kart today? Oh, thank you for dropping by. Yeah, live on Twitch, and then you recommended it over here. Well, thank you. Because I knew you can do that on Twitch, where you can raid somebody after. No, it's very nice of him. No, I'm just trying to get Carpoon a bit more polished for showing tomorrow. This is my game that I was working on. And I'm just playing single player right now. It is multiplayer, but it's kind of just a local multiplayer game. I didn't want to challenge myself too much. No, but I hope you all had a great holiday, like Christmas, New Year's break. I definitely had some rest during then, so I played a lot of games. So now back to finishing this up and a few other game explain things. Oh, that's great fun. Assuming you played Mario Party over the Christmas break, or was there like a game that you're looking forward to? So this is Carpoon, my twin stick. Jackie, he said he told Arnold I chose to stream during Mario Kart Monday, and he couldn't believe it. Yeah, I don't actually play that too often because it's normally during the work day. I try to play games more, but I guess I should join in more often. I try to join in once a month or something. Because it is fun to go through the different tracks in a tournament. Uh, oh, it's fun. You enjoyed Epic Mickey, I hope. It's War Inspector Classic. Or just trying to always keep an open mind on different games you want to make throughout your career. I still have only ever played a little bit of Epic Mickey. I never played through the whole thing. Now, I was thinking of maybe diving into Okami again. I never beat that whole game. But I do have it on PlayStation 2. Oh, Stargamer. What games I like to play? Normally multiplayer games. Or like Mario, Zelda type games. With friends, I like party games. Like, this is a party game. That's part of the reason I like it. I like games like Towerfall. I liked UFO 50 a lot last year, and the multiplayer on that. That's only on Steam right now. It's made by the developer Splunky, but it has 50 different sort of 8-bit NES-like games in it. And my hobbies, I guess, would be like, I guess it's like a super hobby, making a game. I play hockey, and I also like jogging and biking. I used to like making things like crafts and stuff, or I guess that's where this kind of comes into, like drawing I like doing. Oh, thank you, Fawn. And Croc, I'll play at some point. I don't know if I'll get that one. Like Croc, there might be a few other platforms out at the time, but no, I hope you like Croc when it comes out. Oh, thank you, StarGamerX and Fawn, for subscribing. Yeah, I just hit 100 subscribers last weekend, so I'm thinking of doing a Mario 3 or Mario 64 stream at some point. So I try to, in this, for when you're playing single player, I try to have different waves of enemies. But the true best part is in versus mode, I'll say. And Andre had suggested better waves recently, so now the waves are a little bit more animated and ripple in this level. He helped me with a lot of feedback for this game. And suggested the googly eyes on the trucks and stuff. So it's the feedback from the #1 Stunt Race FX fan in the world. Oh, and these sparks too. That was something he and a few other people are kind of wanting some feedback for in cars, so now there's sparks on them. No, but I've been making this game in GameMaker for about 6 years now. And it's Carpoon because it's a pun about car harpooning. But it's not a Switch game. Sorry to disappoint everybody. It's made on Steam. I don't know if I'll have the energy after to bring it to Switch, because it does cost $800 for a development kit, and there's a lot of things about accepting controllers and stuff you have to change when you make it to Switch from just Steam. Steam is a bit more lenient. No, I'll show you the last level I'm working on too. So this lever kind of broken right now. Well, you can bring it to Switch 2 at least. That's true. But if it's cross-compatible, you'd want to do both. I think after a break, I might consider it. But it would just be local. It wouldn't be online. Online is past my pay grade right now. You can spend a lot of time. You can spend years just making a game work online. But yeah, I'll show you. Oh, that's too bad. I broke it when so many people are here. The glow effect. But yeah, this is the AutoWorks level. So I have these bridges open up. Audio is on mute for the game. Maybe it's really low. Oh yeah, it is. It is completely on mute. Let's see. I'll turn it up to minus 25. That's usually about what it works on streams. And we'll take a look. I have it very quiet right now in the settings, just because I find it's a bit overbearing sometimes. Or at least a lot of my friends say, can you turn it down a bit? So this is the last level I was working on. It looked so much better than the first level at one point that I had to upgrade the art in the first level. So to start, we're just dropping cars into these claws. And I added these bridges recently to make it a bit easier because I used to jump over lava all the time. That just happens, as you'll see after this. No, this is versus. Let's head back. This is the thing. This is, I set it default to versus mode, but the bridge is only open in co-op. Part of testing. Yeah, so this game, the music's done by Mathew Kirkegaard, who does the gameplay music, but I did all the art and programming for it. Although some things are scripts and programming little bits I found online. No, it's been a fun journey. So there, now the bridge is open up. That has been tweaked a bit. I was adding ground effects, lighting under the cars to make it more visible, but it's close. Yeah, so hopefully you can hear the music now. If not, I can turn it up a bit more. Please let me know, chat. Yeah, so I think it was last year after I came back from Japan once, I just thought it'd be fun to do almost weekly development streams of this to kind of motivate me to work on it a bit more. And sometimes I play games and stuff. There's something I want to check out. Usually not like a full game playthrough, but a bit. So yeah, so I had it so the waves kind of stagger and the bridge is open. Not really? Okay, I'll turn it up a bit more. I think my desktop audio is on headphones too. That's probably the problem. Okay, I see green bars flickering. It's probably too loud right now, but maybe. Oh yeah, it wasn't. Thanks, Andre, for raiding the raid, the difficult Twitch to YouTube raid. But no, I had it on headphones or something. So now I put it, and I see green bars going. Yeah, I was just showing them the AutoWorks update, and I'll show you the new lever that I was just putting in today for tomorrow's full indie meetup. Yeah, Peach is actually updating the Volcarnage Island music this week, so I'm excited to hear what that's going to be like, where Peach manages to channel Grant Kirkhope. Claw bases are coming up right after the lever. These are hot cars. They actually hurt you and eventually you die. I didn't want instant kills though. So if anybody who came by, if you ever think of making a game, this is proof that if I can do it, you can do it too. Just lots of practice, lots of trying to make little games is my recommendation. Here, I'll dive into the player Slack. So this bar was actually lighting up just before this build. But yeah, this is what I was working on, where if you get to the other side, it'll start a match. Yeah, this is the... Yeah, so hopefully that's more intuitive for people. Because one thing I had trouble with is, like, you have to hold the harpoon button in place. So that's what the start button was there to teach, but now it's a bit different. That was funny, they all turned at the same time. That's probably a bug, but I'll accept it. You can't fix everything always in games. Well, I guess with everyone coming from Mario Kart Monday, are you guys ready for a new Mario Kart at some point? Or do you think you can still play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for another 2 years? That's what I'm wondering. I think because I played it a lot when the new bonus tracks came out, and I can still play with friends. I find I do want a new one, even though I still play Double Dash all the time, of course. Okay, well, I'll show you GameMaker. And this is, like, you can actually do Dragon Dog code. Antonio, it's time for a new Mario Kart. Yeah. You can still enjoy the old ones, though. There's so many. You can always skip back to an older one. But yeah, okay. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks that. Hello, Chris. Hope you had a wonderful Christmas with your family. And yeah, okay, and Brandon, a Carpoon stream. Yeah, I was just doing a Carpoon Devstream. Hi, Brandon. Thank you for dropping by. We're going to be starting up Gartic Phone again soon as well, but probably on Saturday this week. We can always work for no time. Oh, Chris, nice to hear from you. Yeah, I wanted Mario as the first game because it's been a while since Mario Odyssey. For me, that's because I'm greedy and I want more time for Mario Kart team to make an even better Mario Kart with more tracks. But yeah, I'd be perfectly fine if there's Mario Kart at launch and Mario was later in the year. It's kind of the way it works. No, so basically what I had broken, just for everyone came. Yeah, Chris, thank you. Good and bad times, family's time is always great. Yeah, that's like I took a lot of time off during the holidays for family and friends. Like it's important, and I think that too. Especially, my parents are getting to be around 70 years old, so it's like maybe like I appreciate any time I have with them because they probably you expect the average life expectancy around 82, but you never know. But anyway, this is what I'm trying to animate right now, which was animating before I broke things trying to fix it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And Brandon, I hope you had a good Christmas too over there. Always need to see more drawings from you. Oh, sorry to hear that, Chris. But yeah, that's more reason why. Like I know a couple of my friends had parents pass away. So my condolences. But yes, it's a good thing that way. So I had it so it was animating blue before here. Excellent. Glad to hear that, Brennan. Yeah, I hope you can drop in another Gartic Phone in the future. If there's a time that's better for you, just let us know. That's been fun to have an extra excuse to draw every week. So yeah, it happens, right? It's easy. Things happen on the way. It's hard to practice. I've been practicing Japanese every day, but I have to do that and drawing. Find the time for both. Let's see. I'm going to assume everyone here is excited to see what the Switch 2 reveal is. I'm 80% excited, 20% worried. I think they'll pull it off. Yes. Yeah. That's so... I'm drawing something the wrong way. And you can see some of the animations here. It's like, I'm just trying to get these arrows to animate with a start text below it. I'll go a little longer. We'll try to get this fixed. Thank you everyone for dropping by. I have an early dinner with my parents tonight, so I'm not going on as long as usual, but yeah, I'll stay a little while longer. Maybe till 4:30, which is 25 minutes from now. Oh, and I was showing this. This was my present to myself over Christmas, Game Boy camera. Oh, okay. Brandon, you say you're excited but worried as well for Switch 2. The only way I can see it marketed is kind of like an iPhone, where it's the same thing but a new model. I guess that depends how many new features are, and that kind of happened with the OLED, I would say. But I believe there'll be so much focus on games that'll be okay. I can't see them focusing much on the hardware compared to the games. Like, I could see a couple quick bullet points, like if it was 4K and like going over. I don't even know if they'd want to go over backwards compatibility. Backwards compatibility on some things. Like, I guess you can say you want to say it plays Switch games, but then if you have Switch 2 games that are on both platforms, I don't know if you want to be saying that. I forget what PlayStation does there. Usually it's kind of like hidden at the end because you don't want people to think, oh, all these new games and I can play them on Switch 1. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Nintendo does look towards Apple for what they want to do. Yeah, so Carpoon itself, that is, if I show it, there is a demo on Steam if you do have Steam and interested in playing it. This I updated last November, so it's fairly new. So Brownie say you would focus on backwards compatibility a bit. GameCube on Wii was a good selling point. Yeah, I guess you just have to focus on the going forward instead of like going backwards if the games are cross-platform. That also helps for people who know they can sell their Switch later, but then you kind of need your Switch to do the data transfer first. You can't just sell it right now when it's worth more. I think. I could be wrong there. And of course, very interested to see what they do to address Joy-Con drift. So what I'm trying to do here was kind of loop backwards to draw one frame. I wonder if I want to check real quick if the lower one was even working. It might not have been. This is just me compiling the Carpoon together. And running into an error. This is the what you can expect when you're making games if you're not careful. Oh, I see what I did. I think I'll save this. I didn't reference the right object. So I'll tell everyone that for Carpoon, I had made small games in Flash before, and I got back into it because of making a game in WarioWare DIY. That helped me get back into making games after I had stopped for a long time. So if you ever are thinking about making a game, there's stuff like Dreams or WarioWare. It could be really helpful. WarioWare DIY, that is. Tony always say, I'm not expecting, but I'd be excited if they announced Tears of the Kingdom DLC for Switch 2. I guess there's two ways you can do it, because they didn't do DLC. So if they do that and announce like a 4K version of Tears of the Kingdom, or if they did like 4K Breath of the Wild and had a better like 60 frames per second. Hello again, Oscar. Thanks for coming back. I decided to go a little bit longer thanks to Andre raiding the server. Brandon, you'll be excited when Carpoon is revealed as launch title for Switch 2. Oh, I got a lot of work to do real quick here. I hope I'm wrong on my March prediction then. Okay, where did I put grappling? Okay, so here I put just grappling in, but I have to do this where I have to reference the thing that has grappling, because this one doesn't. That's what's causing that error. I remember when starting out programming, I couldn't even get it to loop through a deck of cards. I think programming is a lot more common than it used to be, though, so I'm guessing it's even taught more earlier in school. Like I learned maybe around grade 12 about it. And when I first started making games, there was like Flash, and then there was DirectX, like on Xbox, and C++. So I had one friend that kind of knew it a bit, but that was not easy. That's why like it was so rare for a company like the Behemoth with Alien Hominid to actually have a disc-based indie game on a console, because you also needed a publisher. Okay, well there's that. Maybe they'll get the blue effect going again. We'll see. No, but thank you everyone for dropping by. I am thinking of having a thank you for 100 subscribers stream pretty soon. With Mario 3 and Mario 64, I'll just see how things are going. I have a busy month ahead of me. Yeah, that's working a bit better now. I should make... So the blue is doing the opposite, and there's the usual fire truck. That's harder to mute right now. There, fire truck's mostly gone. So we're just gonna flip this because I want it only when it's 0, not when it's greater than 0. And this should make the green effect more visible. And we'll see how that looks. This is art I drew a long time ago, but updated a couple times, because key art really sells what a game can be. Oh, I just thought of something that was feature creep. So I think probably I want it to be fully green or closer to it in the first two, and more in the later ones, because it's kind of not lighting them up enough. I think something's happening there where more of that bar should be green. And I want to copy the same effect down to that bottom green row. Now this is just doing code in here, but some games, like even Unreal, lets you drag and drop little modules. Like if I go into here, like these little pieces are kind of, it's an example of more of what you can do. Let me choose something that maybe won't break my game entirely. I'll create a new object. Or I'll just put it in here. Nope, can't do that. We'll go back to that player. Yeah, so an easy way to get started, like you can drag little pieces in and it's easier for putting it together. You don't just have to write code. You can kind of do that later after you figure it out. So that's something neat in GameMaker to make it accessible for people to get started. I think GameMaker, this one does have a free subscription right now, or like a free version, and then if you want to actually publish it, it starts costing a monthly fee. I was lucky and I bought it before it went to subscriptions. Okay, so now we'll just try to see why it's stopping while drawing this. So I'll probably draw this variable and see what it's becoming. No, wait, I think I see it. I think I see the problem now. I think Alf, so basically how transparent it is out of 1. And I'm kind of not doing that. I'm kind of setting a weird value for it. That's probably the answer. So maybe that'll fix it. Oh, good night, Brandon. Good luck to you. Talk to you later. Yeah, this isn't actually always fully exciting, but no, have a good evening. Get doodling. Oh wait, no. Okay, so that's one. Yeah, I think that's right. I could be wrong, but it's probably right. Yeah, I think in this last 9 minutes, I should have time to get it working. It'll be like a fun race against time. I'll just swap out the correct layer. This is actually going to be quite close to the end. Uh, I think something's broken there, but we'll see. Oh yeah, not quite working yet, but it's close. Okay, what happened is I didn't replace the correct one yet. All right. Yeah, I have a couple of different versions of this, and it's been a little tricky to keep track of it. Come on. Yeah, this is what we want in there now. Okay, let's take. Oh, maybe it maybe it works already without having to recompile, which is... Not yet. Although that shows a neat solution where I can just duplicate it if I really have to. Yeah, so from here, all I want to do is create so that start button and this alternates each time. Or is random. And that's just a test to see what makes sense to players. I think I can tune the transparency a bit, be a bit more to like what I had earlier. Let's see the bottom arrows. Yeah, they fade out, but they can fade out more. Probably I can keep that one okay, but this one I'll just go to 1. I don't think that's updating yet, but well, kind of. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I want to do. There's a couple little finishing touches, but pretty close with the arrows. So, to do this would be more tricky because this... That was the old placeholder one just to see the size. This is one object, but this is 2 objects right now. But I'll just have to swap it out. Let's see. So to do this, I'll just create a random thing in here, and that'll be it for today. So we'll go if random, I don't know, 100 for start button. I'll just say if it's over 50, it does show. Later, I might just make it so it changes the key too, in case it, because random numbers are truly random. It doesn't mean every second time. We'll say instance destroy. So we'll just destroy these 2 things and that'll be it. And make sure it works without crashing, of course. Okay, this would be a neat way to test 2 different things. Let's take a look. Oh man. Well, I think it creates some peace in there, so I'll have to delete that. Yeah, let's see if it destroys the other one. That's like the start button is made of two different parts, so it's only removing one part. Yeah, I can probably... Yeah, I'll maybe move it, and that'll be the easy way to deal with this. That should move it down way further off screen. No one will see it. And this will just remove the little testing variable. And I think I won't have the blue showing up, and it should be good for today. The blue showing up when it's still part of its green, so so that was, where was that? Okay, this is it. No, it didn't move it. It created it before moving it. You'll need an end lever to end the stream. Yeah. Well, I think we get the general idea. I could fix that later. No. Let's see the other one. No, thanks, Antonio, for hanging around. Yeah. So close. Oh, well, very good. Good luck with that application. Yeah, those things like applications are a job in themselves. Yeah, I think an application, that's the right call, because application, I'd say, is harder to start than a drawing. Well, good luck with that, Antonio, and if anyone watches this later, thanks everyone for dropping by. Hope you have good luck in your own projects. I'm going to get ready to head out to dinner. But I'll be back, I'm not sure, maybe later this week or next week with a different stream. Thanks, Antonio. Bye.